Who really blinks first? That is the question echoing across the Pacific as two giants circle one another. On one side, the USS Gerald, the pride of the United States Navy and the most advanced carrier in the world. On the other, China's Type 003 Fujian, a massive homegrown vessel hailed in Beijing as proof that China has entered the elite carrier club. But beneath the flashing lights of propaganda and the thunder of jet engines lies the real puzzle. When these two steel behemoths face off, who is actually afraid of whom? For decades, the United States has ruled the seas with an armada of nuclear-powered carriers. They are not just ships, they are floating cities, armed fortresses, and mobile runways that can strike anywhere on Earth. The Ford class takes this to the next level with electromagnetic launch systems, advanced radar, and the ability to put more planes into the sky faster than ever before. China, however, wants to prove it no longer has to accept American dominance. The Fujian is their answer, bigger than anything they have built before, equipped with electromagnetic catapults, and carrying the next-generation J-35 stealth fighter. On paper, it looks like a challenger. But is it really? Let's start with the aircraft themselves. The U.S. Navy's F-35C is the only stealth fighter in the world designed specifically for carrier operations. It links with a AWACS satellites and even other F-35s to share targeting data, creating what pilots call a combat cloud. Every missile fired is not just guided by one jet, but potentially by dozens of platforms across the network. Contrast that with China's J-35, still in its infancy, never tested in real combat. Yes, its lines look sleek, its stealth coating carefully photographed by state media. But can it truly rival a jet that has flown missions in real wars, dodged real missiles, and proven its worth in skies where mistakes mean death? That's not just a question of engineering. It's a question of trust, and trust is built through battle. Then there is the ship itself. The Ford is a marvel of efficiency, built to last half a century, with nuclear reactors that allow it to sail endlessly without refueling. The Fujian, meanwhile, is China's first real attempt at a modern, catapult-equipped carrier. And let's talk about experience. The United States has deployed carriers in every major conflict of the modern era, from the Gulf War to Afghanistan to deterrence patrols in the South China Sea. Carrier battle groups have intercepted crises, enforced no-fly zones, and projected power across oceans. China? Its navy is young. The Liaoning, their first carrier, is essentially a training ship. The Shandong followed, but its air wing is still limited. The Fujian is their leap forward, but it has yet to complete operational testing. So ask yourself, when a ship has never faced the pressure of war, how much of its reputation is ire, and how much is illusion? Of course, Beijing claims the Fujian signals a new era, and perhaps it does. With electromagnetic launch systems, China has closed a gap once thought impossible to bridge. But technology is only half the equation. Consider this. The Ford's EMALS has already been tested with thousands of launches under grueling conditions. The Fujian's? It has yet to prove whether it can handle the relentless pace of combat operations. Will it break down after a few sorties? Will it launch fighters at the same tempo as an American deck crew drilled in combat readiness for generations? These are questions Chinese propaganda will never answer, but they linger in the minds of analysts watching closely. And then there's the broader stage, Taiwan and the South China Sea. When a U.S. carrier sails near those waters, it signals commitment to allies and deterrence to adversaries. When Fujian sails out, it signals ambition and maybe insecurity. After all, if your strategy relies on dazzling parades and choreographed footage, what does that say about your confidence in facing the U.S. Navy on the open sea? Could it be that the real power lies not in the steel of the ship, but in the networks, alliances, and history that sail behind it? Yet we must be careful not to underestimate China. It is building ships at a staggering pace, producing more hulls every year than almost any other nation on Earth. Numbers matter. Ambition matters. And while today the Fujian might look like a symbol more than a weapon, Tomorrow, it could be the backbone of a fleet that reshapes Asia's balance of power. This is the paradox. China's rise is real, but how much of its strength today is theater? And how much is still ready for war? The debate rages on. Some say the U.S. is still untouchable, with its 11 nuclear carriers and unmatched global logistics. Others whisper that Washington has grown complacent, and that Beijing's rapid advances may one day catch America sleeping. Should the U.S. be upgrading faster, investing more, modernizing beyond the Ford class? Or is America already decades ahead, playing a game China can't win? And that brings us back to the central question. Who really blinks first? Is it Washington, watching Beijing churn out ships and missiles, wondering if deterrence is enough? Or is it Beijing, flaunting shiny new carriers, secretly aware that experience, allies, and combat credibility still belong to the United States? Because here is the reality. Carriers are not built for parades. They are built for war. And war is unforgiving. It does not reward those who boast the loudest. It rewards those who can endure, adapt, and strike with precision when the time comes. The USS Ford is already proving itself in deployments. The Fujian still has everything to prove. But what do you think? Is the Fujian truly a game changer, or just a paper tiger dressed in steel? And will America's carriers remain unchallenged kings of the sea, or will history one day tell a different story?